It seems like it was such an honor to have your film without prescription accepted into South by, because there's so many that don't make it. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes. Well, it's the first Puerto Rican fiction feature to be selected in South by Southwest. Imagine it's not, and it's a mental health movie, you know.
Yeah.
The fact that they were interested in that, it also gives us like a hope, because at some point we did think like maybe people don't want to see this. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe we even thought at some point like, who would want to see two people just, but the fact that we were accepted is like people are listening, and when we saw the feedback of everyone at that theater, it's like, yes, we are creating a conversation, so this was important.
Yeah. And this was a world premiere. No one had seen the movie before. We had no idea how they were going to react. No one had seen it in Puerto Rico, actually. It's a very local, it's a very, very Puerto Rican story. I mean, it's about mental health, but it's also in the middle of Barranquitas, which is like in the mountain area
in Puerto Rico. So it's the Christmas is very specific in Puerto Rico. The things we eat, the food, the music, the specific language, but people from all over the world, so many different countries were at the screening, and they were all like laughing and stuff. We were like, oh my god,
they were reacting.
This translate well to the general.
And it's a common
audience.
theme that we've been looking at. The more local you are, the more universal your material is, because the other films in our global, we're in the global section of the festival, which are the international films. There are more international films, but this is specifically for international films. It's a common theme that they're super local, but we've all gotten what they've tried to say. So without prescription, this is our world premiere, first Puerto Rican feature film selected. We're going to continue to go through the festival route. Sometimes it takes like a year to continue the conversation, the mental health conversation around the world, hopefully. And eventually, have a theatrical release in Puerto Rico, and that's more commercial. So, like the people that are not into film festivals can get to watch the film and then start the conversation with them, and then eventually, we're going to be in a streaming service, so it's out there for everyone, and
how long
continue what you're doing also.
Yeah, well, how long does the streaming service part of it take? Like, when do you think our viewers can...
It takes a while. Sometimes it takes up to a year. But we're already in conversations, so when we finish the festival thing and do the theatrical release, that's when we'll probably be out in streaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. I mean, that's so incredibly brave of you to, one, put it out for everyone to see, and then it's also going to help millions of people. So it's just really incredible. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a big deal. It really is.
I think I haven't processed all of this with the movie and seeing it. I'm still like, I probably want to be in Puerto Rico in a week and be like, what just happened? Oh my God, we did all that. So I couldn't be happier.
And there's also more mental health movies in the festival. So kudos to the festival organizers who are embracing, the conversation as well.
That's a great point. And 2.5 years ago, I just don't think it would be as accepted. Because when I started this 2.5 years ago, and I only had 4 videos, and I had to take a pause and go to treatment and heal. But I had people look at me like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
You're talking about your problems,
and it's still a little more taboo. And
then the pandemic.
And I mean, the pandemic was awful in so many ways. And one thing it did, it brought out mental health conversations.
Yeah. And we already had the film. We wanted to shoot the film before the pandemic. And and then after the pandemic, we're like, oh, and we shot during the pandemic, so it was like this more than ever, this movie needs to happen. It needs to exist, you know, and more movies like this with other perspectives as well. Because one thing that Marietere always says is that this is her experience with this condition.
Yes, because I have known many people with OCD after I was diagnosed, and I realized, oh, this is so different for everyone, you know, and everyone is living it through their own lens. So I don't want to be, this isn't like, I'm not pretending to say this is how OCD is for everyone, but it's I wanted to just give my point of view. And I also love, it was beautiful that even people that know nothing about OCD, they were like, I feel every single amount of pain she was feeling, and people even were like saying, I know nothing about OCD, but now I want to know more. I actually want to know more about all of this this world that is just open right now for me. So that's important.
Absolutely.
Yes. And thank you also for having this space so that we can share and not feel alone, you know. So I think your job is also what you're doing is amazing. Yes.
Well, you know, I think when you heal and you know that you can, you want others to know that too. And, you know, that's in large part why I'm doing this, you know, because you know what it's like when you're in it, and you know that you can heal, and you want others to know that they can heal too, you know. So, well, I can't wait to watch Without Prescription. It's just been such an honor speaking to both of you.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Really, I couldn't thank you enough. And yeah, I'm just a little touched right now. So
thank you. Us as well.
My husband is beautiful. So
thank you. Okay, thank you again, Marietere and Juliana. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you, Julie. The honor is ours.
Yes.
Thank you again for joining Speak as One. We are here to talk about mental health, and it's so courageous of our guests to come on and speak their stories, and we will have more coming. And you can find these stories at speakasone.com or our YouTube channel at Speak as One. Please like, subscribe, and share to all of your friends. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.